Hi guys, Irina is here. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you have been told that you need a sales funnel and that the best tool for that is Clickfunnels, and you sign up for this platform. Or you were already using Clickfunnels Classic and decided to check out Clickfunnels 2.0 just to realize that the new platform works in a totally different way and is not that easy to master. Don't worry, during this step-by-step Clickfunnels 2.0 tutorial, I will show you all the basics that you need to know to start using Clickfunnels 2.0. So by the end of this video, you will know much more about the platform than the majority of users do. And if that is not enough, you can also check out our Clickfunnels 2.0 Mastery course by clicking on the link in the description of the video. Alright guys, let's get started. First of all, a few words about what exactly you can build in Clickfunnels 2.0, because this platform is absolutely different from Clickfunnels Classic or Clickfunnels 1.0, and you can build much more than you could with the original platform. So with Clickfunnels 2.0, you can build your site, then of course funnels. You can also create a blog, a customer center, and courses. On top of that, you can use Clickfunnels 2.0 for your email marketing, and then you will be able to send broadcasts or create workflows, as they called in Clickfunnels 2.0, or in other words, automations. One of the things that you need to understand is the difference between a site and a funnel. A site is something that usually contains information about your company, about your business, your contact information, and if people want to learn more about you, they go to your site. Although Clickfunnels 2.0 offers a different approach to the site, so it's not like your business card, but also makes sure that people will see the products that you are selling and may drive some conversions. The main purpose of the website is still providing information about you. On the other hand, a funnel is something that removes all the distraction, has only one purpose, and this is selling products step by step, from maybe free product or lead magnet or low ticket product to high ticket offers. And with Clickfunnels 2.0, you can build both. So if you want to build a website for your business, you can do it in Clickfunnels 2.0. You can start with the site. And if you want to create only funnels, then you can start with funnels. The first step that you need to do in Clickfunnels 2.0 when you create your new account is to go over all the settings and make sure that you fill in all the information that you need. So first you go to the settings and then fill in all the information that is asked from you. You can also add collaborators if you have other team members that will work on the funnels together with you. You can also connect other services like third-party services here by clicking Connect Integration. For example, if you're using, let's say, an active campaign for your email marketing, you can connect it here. And last but not least, you should go to the marketing section and fill in the marketing settings there. Why is it important to do it already in the beginning? Because when you build your funnel and then you want to send a broadcast to your list, for example, you will not be able to do it unless you fill in the marketing settings and the email addresses. That's why it's better to do it already in the beginning, so later you don't have to deal with that. Next step would be to connect your payment provider, and Clickfunnels 2.0 uses Payments AI for that. It's not that hard, you just need to follow the steps that are on the screen, and then you will be able to connect Stripe, PayPal, and they're also adding more and more providers that you can use. And last but not least, you may also want to add your domains already, because it usually takes some time to connect a domain, and while you're building your funnel, all the settings will be updated for you for domains, and then when you're already done with the funnel, you will be able to easily connect your domain to the funnel. I will not go into the detail of all of that, because otherwise our video would be hours long, but you can either Google for the articles in the help center of Clickfunnels 2.0, or as mentioned, you can check out our Clickfunnels 2.0 Mastery course, where I'm explaining step by step how you do all of those things. So let's move on. The next thing that I would recommend you to do would be to first of all create a style guide for your account and also create a few universal sections. Let me explain what that is. If you go to the site, then click Customize. Here you will see all the pages that are already available for you to customize for your site. You can either remove them or customize to your needs, or also add additional pages to your site. But what we are looking for here is a style guide. A style guide is a guide that shows how different elements, for example, headline, paragraphs, buttons, and so on, should look on your site and on your funnels. And the great thing about the style guide is that when you set everything up, when you create the style for all the elements that are here, then every time you create this element, for example, every time you add a headline on your funnel, on your website, on different pages, in the blog, it will take the style from the style guide that you created. Of course, you will be able to adjust it, but for you to keep all the funnels and on the pages of the website, for example, in the concise and similar look, the style guide becomes quite handy because you don't have to remember what font or font size you used for the headline on the other page. Clickfunnels 2.0 already knows that based on the style guide that you created, and will add a new element based on this style guide. So you can just go over the sections here, for example, fonts, and then adjust the settings for every element that you see. You can adjust the base font, then the look of the headline, the subheadline, the content, and so on. Then go to the color, shadows, borders, buttons, corners, and do the same. Of course, you don't have to do that, but I think this tool in 2.0 is quite handy because you will know that your elements have similar look on different pages, and overall you will have consistent look on your funnels or on your website. After you're done with the style guide, you can use another handy tool that is available in Clickfunnels 2.0, and that's called universal sections. You can use universal sections for everything, but I find them convenient for headers and footers. So what is a universal section? It's a section that you create once and then save it as a universal section, and then you can add it on different pages. If you need to update something, for example, if you need to update a link in this footer and you have a footer as a universal section, you only edit this section once. You make the changes in the section, and then Clickfunnels 2.0 automatically populates the changes on all the pages where you have added this section. I'm sure you will agree it's quite convenient. Clickfunnels 1.0 didn't have that option, and if, for example, you had sections saved and you edited on different funnels, and then you want to update something, you would need to go to each funnel where you have that section and then update everything manually. In Clickfunnels 2.0, you don't have to do that. And in this template, you can see that this section is already saved as universal section. Otherwise, you can just highlight the section and then click Save. Then check it, Make Universal Section, and then click Save Section. We will not do it here. And if you want to edit a universal section, you would click Edit Block, then adjust whatever you need or update the section that you have already created, and then save the changes. And as said, Clickfunnels 2.0 will populate those changes on all the pages that contain this universal section. Now let's talk about the editor itself and see how it works. Overall, no matter if you want to build a site, a blog, or an article on the blog, funnels or different pages, or even courses, they all will have the same page editor that we will look into right now. So let's start by building a simple opt-in funnel. For that, you go to Funnels, then click Create Funnel, give it a name. Let's keep it as New Funnel. On this page, we will see the overview of our funnel. When we're building the pages, we will see how they go down there. And as the tip tells us, we need to click a plus button to add a step when we want to create a new page. If you don't have a lot of experience with building funnels or with Clickfunnels in general, I would recommend you to choose a template that is already available in Clickfunnels, because not only it already has some kind of design, which usually looks quite nice, unless it's some old templates from Clickfunnels, like for example this one, but it also has all the components that you need for a specific page type. For example, if we want to create an opt-in page, the template will already have a possibility for a contact to enter an email address and a button to submit it, and also some headline, probably video or an image, and some text. If you create, for example, a sales page, this page most likely will already have place for a copy. Maybe it will have some countdowns, a video, or even a checkout form, unless you of course use an order page separately for the checkout. Alright, let's choose a simple template here, give it a name. You can also add the description for this page and adjust the path for this page, but we will go back to the path and URLs of the step and of the page later. Click Create Page. To start editing the page, click Edit button and it will open the editor for us. A few basic things that you need to understand about the page editor in Clickfunnels 2.0. First of all, it has a specific layout or specific blocks, let's say, that you can use to build your page. The biggest block that we have is a section, and you can see it as a green border, and it also has the green tab with the settings and other things that we need for the section. Then if we go further, we have a row. So section is the biggest unit, the row would be the second biggest unit, and it has blue border. The row can contain one column or multiple columns. In the row that we now have highlighted, we have 2 columns, and then we have an element. An element would be then the smallest block of the page. Each of those blocks, sections, rows, and elements have similar settings. Of course, all of them, and depending on what you're building and what element, for example, you chose, will have different settings, but there are some universal settings that you can choose for all the blocks. If you highlight a section and then go to that gear icon, which opens settings for the sections, you will see that you can adjust top margin. You can also choose the background. You can adjust size and position. You can choose a background image, and other things like border, shadow, and corner can also be adjusted. Let's see what we have in a row. You highlight the row, which is blue border, then go to the settings, and here you can also see that you can adjust the top margin, you can adjust the size and position. The settings may differ, of course, because the blocks that we are creating are also different, but in general you also have the background here, a border, shadow, and corners that you can adjust. And depending on the element that you have, you also will have different settings. For example, this headline has not just top margin and padding like you have for different rows and sections. It also have style settings, typography. This style is pulled from the style guide that we created in the beginning. And if you want to adjust the style for this headline, in the style guide, so we in general want to change how our headlines look, you will need to click Edit Style, and that will redirect you to the style guide like this. And if you want to adjust the look only of this specific headline without changing anything in the style guide, you will need to click this icon and then change whatever you want to change, for example, font, weight, size, and so on. And similar to other blocks that we already looked at, you can adjust a background and the shadow. Let's say you want to rearrange the layout of the page a bit. For example, you don't want to have this row, but you would like to add something else. You would like to add another row or some new elements. How do you do that? First of all, you can highlight what you don't want to have anymore, and then if you want to delete, just click on this bin icon, and that will delete the row. If you did something by mistake, if you deleted something by mistake, you can just click back and it will reverse the action. Or you can click forward and it will move you one action forward. If you would want to add a row, you would need to look for the bottom border of this row, and then you will see there the Add Row button. Just click on it, then you can choose if you want the row with 1 column, 2 or more columns, and then add the row. Now we have our new row here. Same goes for the elements. If you want to add an element, go to the bottom border of an element, click Add Element, and then you can choose which element you want to add. For example, we want to add a bullet list there. Don't forget to save the changes from time to time. Now let's try to adjust elements. To do so, you can just click on the element and then you can already start typing. I also would like to change the color of the headline because it doesn't look that good on the gray background. That's why we can go to the settings of the headline and then choose the different color for our headline. So much better. Same goes for the list that we have just added. You can click on the settings and also adjust the color to like this. For the list, you can also adjust the icons that you can see by clicking on the field here and then looking through the icons. And let's also adjust the color of the paragraph here. And now we reach the button. The important thing to understand about the buttons is that it should always have some kind of action. As you can see, for this button, the action is it opens the pop-up, and if you want, you can click on the button settings and then adjust the action for the button here. For the button, you could choose different actions, but usually on the opt-in page, the goal would be to collect the information, to collect the email address of the contact, probably their name, and also submit this information to either a third-party autoresponder or to Clickfunnels if you collect the contact information in Clickfunnels. So we would usually choose submit order or form, or like in our case, open pop-up, because we have an input field where a contact can enter their contact information in the pop-up. And to see how our pop-up looks, you would need to click on the pop-up, then either show pop-up or edit settings. And here you can adjust the pop-up to your needs. And as mentioned, we are requesting a full name and then the email address from our contacts. And here we have a different button. And as you may notice, the action for this button is submits the page. So we can submit the information that a contact entered here. So let's briefly sum it up. The layout of the page consists of different components. If we go from the biggest one to the smallest one, it would be a section, a row, and then an element. A section would have a green border, a row would have a blue border, and elements would have an orange border. If you want to delete the element, you just click on the delete icon. Same goes for the section or the row. If you want to add a new component, you would click add element on the bottom border of an existing component. To adjust whatever you want in the section, row, or element, you would need to click on the settings. Same goes for the row, for example. And then you can choose a different top margin, different side position, background, border, shadow, and so on. Each button should have an action assigned to it. That's why make sure that in the settings of the button, you always choose an action. Before we move further, let's, as an example, add another row and a few elements and edit the style of those elements. We already have a row here that we added before. Let's adjust it. Go to the settings of the row. Let's increase the top margin, so the row is a bit further. Then I also want to change the background of the row. Let's make it white. As you can see, now it changed to white. I want to adjust the corners. And as mentioned before, the style of those corners, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, will be taken from the style book that you create. Or if you need, you can adjust them here. Let's go with those corners. And I also want to add some shadow, like this. Now let's add a few elements to the row. Let's say I want to have a headline, a subheadline, some text, and then an image. For that, you would click Add New Element, this orange area here. Then look for a headline. Click on it, and we have the headline here. But because the color of the text is grayish or white, we don't see it right now. Go to the settings of the element, and then click this icon with 3 dots. And change the color of the text to the one that you like. Let's pick blue. Then you can do the same for other elements. Add new element. Look for subheadline. And again, the color of the text is white, but we can update it. And then we want to add a paragraph as well. Alright, now highlight that element, subheadline element, go to the settings, change the color, and do the same for the paragraph. You can either click on this element or highlight it and go to the settings to open the settings of the element. Alright, now let's add an image. For that you would need to click Add Element, search for an image, and here you go. To add an image here, instead of the placeholder that we have, you go to the settings, and then go to the image URL, click on this icon and choose an image either from your gallery, or you can upload an image from your computer. You can also search for images in the image stocks. For example, Unsplash is the one that I usually use. Let's say laptop that we have here, and then choose any image. Let's take this one. And once it's loaded, you can add it to your funnel. Great. Now we have our row here with the white background and also the corners, slight shadow, and the elements that we added. As always, don't forget to click Save. I think right now you're already getting an idea of how to work with the page editor, how to work with each element. We will not go to all the details, but in the Clickfunnels 2.0 Help Center, you can find detailed articles about all the elements that the editor has. You can read them, you can also watch the videos of how each element works and what specific it has. The last thing that I want to show you in the editor is how to add the universal section that you would create on the previous steps as recommended. For that, you would go to the Add section, then go to My Assets here, and you will see the universal blocks or universal sections that you have saved in your account. And the section that we saw in the template looks somehow like this. So we can choose this one, and you would use it as the footer. As mentioned, I like those universal sections as headers and footers on the funnel pages. And again, if you need to edit it, you would click Add Block, and it would edit the universal section, and Clickfunnels 2.0 would update this section on any page where you're using it. Click Save to save your changes. And the last thing that we would need to do on this page is to make sure that it looks decent on mobile devices. As you may know, a lot of traffic comes from mobile devices, from the phones, because people open the pages and look through the pages on their phones. That's why we would need to make sure that the page looks decent on mobile devices as well. Any section, any row or element, so any component of our page has the visibility settings. You can either choose if it's shown on all devices or only on the desktop. Like for example, this section has the label desktop only, and that's why it will only be shown on desktop devices. Or if you switch it to mobile only, it will be shown only on mobile devices. So once again, if you want the section, the row or the element to be visible on all devices, click all. If you want it only be visible on desktop, then you choose this icon. And if you want it to be visible only on mobile devices, then click mobile only. And if you want to hide it, you can also hide this section on all devices, like this. We had the section desktop only, which means that this image probably doesn't look that great on mobile devices. That's why they have something else for mobile. Let's check. Alright, for mobile they created a totally different section, and our footer messed everything up, but let's disregard it right now. So this section replaced the one that we have on desktop here. So we don't see this section on mobile, but we see this different section on mobile here. I don't want to have this section, so I go to the settings, I hide this section, then I go back to desktop, go to our first section, to the settings, and choose visibility on all devices. Now let's see how it looks on mobile devices. Okay, it's not that bad, but you can see that, for example, we have a lot of space here, which is not necessary on mobile. This font is probably also too big for mobile devices, but this one looks quite fine. This part looks quite fine. So what you would do, you would probably decrease top margin here or padding on top to move it a bit higher. And then we can go to the section and check top padding here, like this. Don't forget to check the desktop view, because when you change something on mobile view, it also changes the things on the desktop, unless you're changing something in the element that is only visible on mobile. The font for this headline is fine for mobile devices. The font of the bullet list is also okay, but the font size for the paragraph is a bit too big in my opinion. That's why we go to the settings of this paragraph, click on this icon, go to font size mobile, you can change it to pixels, and also reduce the size to, let's say, 18 or 20 is fine on mobile. And in the footer, I also would update the font size of those elements on mobile because it feels too big, but we will not do it right now. I think you got an idea. Make sure that all the elements look fine on mobile device, and then don't forget to save the changes. We can also check our pop-up, how it looks on mobile device. Also fine. The font size is also fine. Now let's go back to our funnel. If you create an opt-in funnel, you would have this opt-in page where the contact can just give you the contact information. Usually it's a name and their email address. After that, you would add a thank you page. Again, we will not go into the details of editing this page. I will just show you once again how you add the page. You click the plus here, click page. From the categories, you can choose a thank you page and choose any template that you like. Give it a name. You can add the description, page URL, and click create page. And with that, we have all the pages that we need for our opt-in funnel. Our opt-in page and a thank you page. The next step that we are going to do is to adjust the settings of the funnels and of the steps of the funnels. For the settings of the funnels, you need to click this button, settings. It will open up the settings of the whole funnel. Here you can update the name of the funnel if you need. Select the domain which will be assigned to the funnel. And remember, I told you it's better to already take care of the domain setup in the beginning. So at the point when you want to assign the domain to a funnel, you can already do it. Let's choose this one. And here you can enter the path URL for the whole funnel. I usually choose the funnel path or later the step or the page path, depending on the purpose of the funnel or the specific step or page. For example, if I have a funnel to collect the sponsorship requests, I would write something like view minus sponsorship minus request. And here let's imagine that we are collecting the email addresses and giving away a free book. Then I would write something like view free book. And then you can click update funnel. When somebody clicks on this link that we assigned to our funnel, they will be redirected to the first page of this funnel. No matter if it's our opt-in page that we have right now, or if in the future you decide to add another step here, when they click this link, the link of the funnel, they will be redirected to the first step of the funnel. Then we also have links that are assigned to the steps of the funnel. And you can adjust them by clicking on this icon and then go into the step settings. Again, you can change the name of the step if you want, and here adjust the path URL for this specific step. Keeping in mind our example with a free book, I would write something like view get your free book, and Clickfunnels 2.0 will also show you if this path for this URL is available. And when you're satisfied with the result, you can click update step. And last but not least, we have the settings of the page. What's the difference between a step and a page? As you may know or not know, you can have a split test, and if you create a split test page, you have two pages that may have, for example, different headlines or different colors for the buttons, different backgrounds, but both of those pages need their own path. That's why after we adjusted the path of the step, we also want to adjust the path of the page. And if for the step I wrote view get your free book, then usually for a page I would write just get your free book without view. So this way I don't have to invent different paths that would fit the purpose of this page or of this funnel, but I can just use view and then a different version without view. And I think that's a quite clean approach that you can also implement with your funnels. Another important point that you want to take care of is the SEO settings and sharing settings. That's the information that will be shown when somebody shares a link to a funnel or to your page. And then people will see the link to this page, they will see the title and also a short description and an image if you decide to add one. Also, this title that you add for the page will be visible in the tab title when somebody opens your page. That's why you should write something fitting here. For example, get your free book. You can also add some emojis. You should also write a short, concise page description that also will be appealing to people and create curiosity and make them click on the link. And we already updated the URL. And here you may want to add an image. And again, when somebody shares a link to your page or to your funnel, they will see all the information that you entered and the SEO and sharing information. As always, don't forget to click Update Page to save the changes. If you did create the split test, you may want to update the settings of this specific page as well. And once again, a split test would be a different version of the same step. And when we send traffic here, Clickfunnels 2.0 will automatically divide this traffic between the original and the test page, so version A and version B. And after some time, it will show you the results and show you which page performs better. And based on that, you can decide which one you want to use for all the traffic. After you're done with your funnel, the last thing that you want to do, the final thing that you want to do, is to turn off the test mode and click Update Funnel. And with that, your funnel would be live. So I hope that this is not too much information, although if you haven't worked with Clickfunnels 2.0, I'm sure it may be overwhelming, but believe me, when you start, step by step, you will understand more and more, and you will get a feeling of how the Clickfunnels 2.0 is working. Of course, I will not be able to show you all the aspects of this platform, but one last thing that I want to show you is how to add a workflow to the funnel. Let's delete our test version here, so we are back to the original version of the funnel. If you want to attach a workflow to the funnel step, you would need to click this icon and then click Attach Workflow. And after that, you would click New Workflow. Give it a name, then select the event type that will trigger the workflow. In most cases, for the opt-in funnel, it would be opt-in, and then click Create Workflow. The workflows in Clickfunnels 2.0 are not just limited to sending a broadcast or assigning a tag. As you will see in a moment, there are different actions that you can use as the conditions for the workflows, and there are also different actions that you can do with the contacts. So we have already added a trigger for our workflow. You want to click on it and make sure that it's on. Great. After that, you can click on the plus icon. Similar principle as to building a funnel. Then you can choose what you want to do with the contact. For example, we can first of all tag a contact. From the actions, we choose Add Tags, and then we can choose the tag that we want to assign to the contacts in this workflow. Click Create Step. Let's see what else we can add. Quite often you will send an email to people who opted in your funnel. For that you will need to click Send Email, and then you will be able to create your email. You can either choose from those templates that are available in Clickfunnels 2.0, or if you already have your own template, you can create from these templates. I will not do it right now because otherwise the video will be really too long. You can add split tests, you can add a delay. For example, you send them the first email and then you add a delay of 2 days because you don't want to bomb them with your emails, and after this delay is over or after this time runs up, then you send them the second email. On top of that, you can also add some third-party integrations. For example, if we want to send contacts to ActiveCampaign, we could also do it with the help of the workflow, add some webhooks, and enroll people in the course or unenroll them from the course. And also I wanted to show you how many actions you can use as a trigger. If we click here once again, click Add Trigger, and you can choose event type, you can see that there are really a lot of actions that you can choose as a trigger for the workflow. For example, if somebody viewed your page, if somebody purchased something on your page, then apply to remove tag and other different things. When you're done, you want to make sure that you update the status of the workflow. Make sure that it's active now by clicking on this toggle and then click on Enable. And with that, the workflow will be done. So on this note, I want to wrap up our step-by-step Clickfunnels 2.0 tutorial. I know that it may be a lot to digest, I really understand that, but I can assure you, the more you use Clickfunnels 2.0, the more funnels you build, the better you become with the platform and more proficient with building funnels. So if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel to not miss out on the future content, and see you in the future videos. Bye bye.